gossip and entertainment only. Let's get started.
For Brigitte Macron to call me a bully when we just watched Brigitte physically assault her husband on the world stage. You pummeled him. You beat him. You're the bully. You're over here. Oh, I don't like Candace's words. You whooped your husband in front of the entire world on a plane. You're the bully. You're the bully, Brigitte. And you've been bullying him, I would bet, since he was 14 years old. I think you've been grooming him. And that's the worst kind of bullying in my viewpoint. By the way, I want to read you this from their lawsuit, because I obviously have not had time to read all of this, right? The Financial Times reported that the lawsuit also says that their filing includes a description of the circumstances in which they met. The president was a 15-year-old student at a Jesuit high school in Amiens when he first encountered Brigitte, then a 39-year-old married teacher with 3 children. So much of that is not true. Again, they're trying to say he's 15, he was 14. According to the filings, they, quote, formed a deeper intellectual connection when she directed a production of the 1971 Milan Kundera play, Jack and His Master, in which Macron played the lead role. And later, the two began meeting regularly to collaborate on another play. Their relationship, quote, remained within the bounds of the law, the filings say. But when the teenager's parents found out about his, quote, strong feelings for his teacher, they moved him to a different school. Before he left, he told her, whatever you do, I will marry you. Dude, you're such a creep. Like, the fact that you're stating this as a defense, and you're not even telling the truth here, okay? Because you can't ignore the facts of how old he was when he was in that play. You just can't. So happy to go through this in court. But do you realize how creepy you are? How creepy this sounds? His parents then took him away because I'm disgusting, right? Because I'm a creep. Because I had power over this student and tried to seduce him, not because I looked like Claudia Schiffer, because I'm just like a creepy old man. Like, that's what happened here. And you stating this is like, oh, it's so disgusting. Anyways, you have to also appreciate that their lawyer told the Financial Times that they're willing to fly to the United States for this lawsuit, right? They are willing to commute to the United States, to Delaware courts, where they filed this. But they were unwilling for some reason to allow us to fly to France to interview Brigitte, which we offered to do before we started the series. They were also unwilling to simply answer our yes or no questions that we emailed to them so that we could ascertain facts. We did all of this before we aired the first episode.
Hello everyone, Sharona here. Hope everyone is having a great day. So I wanted to come on and speak about Candace Owens. So she's being sued by the French president over trans claim about his wife. Now, Candace is not someone I listen to, not even often. It's just every now and then. But when she was talking about the French president and his wife, saying that his wife is transgendered, that kind of got me into that story. I think she did, was it like 8 days or a week of showing proof that his wife was really a man and not a woman, Brigitte. And because she's not coming out and saying if it's true or not, Candace referred to her as him. And, she went with school and how he grew up and his kids and everything like that. And one of the reasons why this case is so massive is because at the time, the French president, Emmanuel, was underage, and she was either a teacher or an assistant at the school where he worked. So she was a lot older than him, had kids, everything like that. So they've brought claims against Candace before, and Candace talked about it on her show, and she just kind of laughed it off and like, ha ha ha. And I remember the last time I watched Candace, when she spoke about this, she said that she would stake her entire professional reputation on the fact that she knows Brigitte was born a man. Now that's a statement you're making right there. Your career that you know for a fact she is a man. With all her researches, it points that way. And she's not the only one. There are other people who say it, but Candace is more known to those people. She has a huge following on YouTube. I think she has I know definitely over 1 million subscribers, probably going on to 2. So people do listen to her, and that's why, to me, I think they're going more after her than other people who have made a claim. Now, other people who have made a claim against them, they've been arrested or they've been unalived. And I know a couple of the journalists that made a claim against them that the story is true, Brigitte is really a man. Their cases were thrown out because, there's no evidence. They were just doing their job. So we're gonna read this quick article from TMZ. It came out today, and I'm like, what? Another one, but this time with TMZ reporting. You know how serious it is. So it says Candace Owen sued by French President First Lady over transgender claims. Now, Candace has also said she sent them questionnaires, and she said the main thing for the questionnaires, I don't know if it was 23 or 22 questions, but she said if they had answered that one particular question, which was Brigitte born a man? And I can't remember the male name that Brigitte was before, allegedly, if it's all true, before she transitioned to Brigitte. But it says French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife Brigitte have sued Candace Owens over what they call her invasive, dehumanizing, and deeply unjust claims that Brigitte is secretly a man who transitioned into a woman. In the Wednesday filing, the Macron say the conservative commentator has caused them substantial reputational and economic damages due to outlandish, defamatory, and far-fetched fictions that Brigitte was born a man and transitioned to become a female and stole someone's identity. While the 219-page defamation complaint claims Owens has pushed such lies for a while, it specifically mentions a March 2024 post on X in which she wrote, "I would stake my entire professional reputation on the fact that Brigitte Macron is in fact a man." And that's what I'm saying. That is powerful for Candace to say. And if it's proven that she is not, she's going to lose her career. She's going to lose her following who think that she's telling the truth. And like I said, in Candace's defense, she wasn't the one who brought it up. Other people, other French people so far brought it up, but because Candace has the audience, the views for it, that's why it's gained such popularity. So it says the Macron said they sent the former Daily Wire host a retraction demand, but instead of complying, they say she persisted with the claims and even launched an 8-part YouTube series called Becoming Brigitte. I remember that. The Macron says Owens has turned their lives into fodder with her rampant lies, adding Owens has dissected their appearance, their marriage, their friends, their families, and their personal history, twisted it all into a grotesque narrative designed to inflame and degrade. The result is relentless bullying on a worldwide scale. She is seeking unspecified damages, including punitive. Despite having a lawsuit filed against her by the French president, Candace isn't worried about the matter at all, with an insider telling us she has no plans to stop talking and plans to address the matter today in a live session on her Candace podcast. So again, like I said, Candace has been doing this for a while. She is not the original person to say that Brigitte was born a man. Candace went through their history and who's related to who and who's into grooming and just everything like that. It's a story. When you listen to it, you're like, what the heck is going on? And again, like I said, Candace showed, she sent them a questionnaire, and she said even if that one particular question, was Brigitte born a man, if they had answered that one question, then she would have put it to rest. But again, they didn't answer that question. Do they have to? No, they don't have to. But when they don't, it's kind of makes it seem it might be. So what are your thoughts on this? Can Candace be in trouble for this?